Have you heard about a planet called the Western Planet? So far away from here, we heard about this planet called the Western Planet. It's like the Wild West so long ago. But they call it the Western Planet because it's like the Wild West. Have you heard about a planet called the Western Planet? So far away from here, we last time on the Western Planet. They basically went on a picnic, and they went on a picnic. They were basically there at the park and went for a walk, and then they got caught in some mud and they could not get out of it. The next thing that happened was that they found themselves in a world called the Western Planet. Basically someone loaned them a buggy, they fished it out, and then basically they were on their way. Now, the second one to the Western Planet. David and Jackie were sitting at the back of the buggy and they were talking about things. And then suddenly the buggy stopped and they did not know why. So they basically got out and got off the buggy because it stopped. David and Jackie were off the buggy and they're looking around, but then suddenly they heard someone, so they followed the sound. Jackie said, "Look at that little boy over there. He likes wearing overalls like me." David said, "I think that monster is trying to hurt him." Jackie said, "You're right. What do we do?" They had help from rock at him, but be careful not to hit that little boy. The little boy said, "My name is Pierre. Thank you for helping me." Jackie said it was no problem. Pierre said, "Do you know what they call this place?" Jackie said, "What do they call it?" Pierre said, "They call it the desert because it rains dust. That's how dry it is." Jackie said, "Do you have a home or a family?" Well, Pierre said, "No, I live on my own." David said, "How about you come live with us? I'll talk to my dad. I think my dad won't mind." Pierre said, "Okay, I'm okay with it." David's dad said, "I think it's about time you went to bed, because everyone else is going to bed. I'm tired too, I'm going to go to bed." David said, "Before you leave, to go to bed, isn't it weird how it's bigger inside the bucket and outside?" David's dad said, "Yeah, that is weird." David just go to bed. And David said goodnight to his father. Good night. David was trying to get to sleep, but he couldn't because all he had on mind was that what's going to happen to us if we get caught in the dust storms. He did not know, but he finally got to sleep, and he got to sleep. It was the next day and the buggy stopped. They stopped the buggy because they noticed a house in the background, because they thought that person could help them get back home. So they got out of the buggy and they were going to walk to that house in the background to see if anyone was there. Do 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 do. David and Kim's dad said, "That looks like a room there. It doesn't look like anyone lives there." Peter said, "We better get back. Remember the dust storms?" David said, "I think you mean the dust storms." "Yeah, I remember. I think we have to get back. David and kissed Dad paused for a minute and said, "Look at the sky, doesn't it look like it's getting more cloudier, like the death of are coming? Where do I get back?" As they were walking back, their clothes were all covered with dust, there's all this weird stuff on the dust, so they did not know what to do. But when they got back to the buggy, they were going to get cleaned up. When they got back to the buggy, the dust storm over, basically they cleaned themselves up, but basically they were on their way, and who knows where they were going to go next, they decided. They basically came to a wake in the desert, so they got out of their buggy and decided to go for a little swim. Even they didn't have their bathing suit, and they went swimming in their clothes, and they had a lot of fun. They had a lot of fun playing underneath the sun really late, but basically it got dark and they decided to light a fire and sit around for fun before they go to bed. They basically sat around the campfire talking about their day and all that and they were having a lot of fun. They also cooked their dinner on the campfire and it was delicious. And they had a lot of fun. But basically, afterwards they went to bed in the buggy. But they had to wait for the next day. It was the next day, so they got up and got everything ready, cleared out all the stuff they left around the campsite, and put it in the buggy, and then they were on their way. They were basically out of the desert, and they were in the grassland of the western planet, and they're ready for the next adventure. And that's basically where the story ends for now. Have you heard about a planet called the Western Planet? So far away from here, we heard about this planet called the Western Planet. It's like the Wild West, so long ago, but they call it the Western Planet because it's like the Wild West.